Hello and welcome. This video is a description of my favourite pictures of 2020, the camera I used and the location. All these pictures in the first group are taken with the Olympus One Mark II. This first picture is of Ashridge House. This was an outing with the Old Boys Club on the 17th of June. We had a walk up to the monument and then decided to do the long walk up to the house. As you see, it was an overcast day, just right for black and white. This picture came about after walking the canal. Can't remember the location, but could be on the way to Berkhamsted from Hemel Hempstead. This was on the 17th of August. Again, an overcast day, so black and white. It shows the separation between the trees and the clouds with nice reflections. This next picture was taken in Harrogate on the 13th of September. We had a week's holiday in Yorkshire and went to see a friend. He took us for a walk round the town. Again, black and white. This just caught my eye, and in these times a bit of light humour. So nice to see, even the shop window mannequin heads wearing masks. I was out and about and this blue tit just sat on a stick for me to take the picture. This was on the 15th of April. The lens was the 40 to 150mm Be on a flower from my garden on the 1st of July with the 60mm macro lens, f7.1 ISO 250. This is a great lens. It's a must-have lens for the Olympus system. So you see, I do all sorts of photography. I could not tie myself down just to do one type. There's so much to photograph in this world. A seed head, again a macro photo. Same setup as last time. This time a seed head. This was taken on the 28th of June at home in the office, come studio, or as my partner likes to call it, the conservatory. But it means I don't have to use lots of lights because it has a glass roof. Nuthatch. This was taken on the 29th of January. Some of you may recognise the log as being at the Maple Lodge Conservation Society at Maple Cross in Rickmansworth in Hertfordshire. This is a members only club. If you would like to join, see the link below. I have a thing about grey herons. It was one of the first pictures I took that was any good, way back in 2009 with a Nikon D60 and a 300mm lens. This one was taken on the 27th of May. The lens, the 40 to 150mm plus the MC two times converter. Green arches. While away line dancing with my partner on the 16th of February in Folkestone, Kent, I took this picture. This was at the harbour at a location called Sunny Sands Beach. At high tide, this is underwater. The lens was the 12 to 40mm. In September, I updated my camera to the Olympus One Mark III. And a very, very good camera it is too. This first picture of the cat having a nap in a window on a canal barge. It was not the first one I took with this camera, but I just like this one. So it was taken with the 12 to 40mm lens at 2.8, ISO 200, taken on the 2nd of December, just walking along the canal at Rickmansworth. Smoke. At my studio, playing with smoke from a joss sticks and a flash. Lens was a 12 to 40mm, taken on the 22nd of November. The skull is not real, £5 from Asda's. Water droplets. Again in the studio, this time water droplets colliding. I was using the Pluto system with blue food colouring, taken on the 4th of October with the 60mm macro lens at f10 ISO 200 and a flash. Flash is a must to take this sort of shot. Swan. This is my favourite of 2020. Taken while eating lunch at the Little Britain Lake, Uxbridge. It was seeing off another swan. I quickly put down my lunch, grabbed the camera and took the shot. This time the lens was the 40 to 150 ISO 200 f6.3. Is this your favourite shot? I know it's mine, because it was such a very quick shot. Just had to take it or else the moment was gone. Comment below which is your favourite shot from this collection of photos. Goldfinch. This was taken through the studio window. The lens was the 40-150. The pink in the background is a piece of tape on a pole about 3 metres away. This was taken on the 18th of September. Bee on a flower. This bee was on the same day, 18th of September. The lens was the 12-40mm and it was in the garden. And as you can see, the 12-40 is quite capable of doing close-up work as well. So very good lens. I do like the 12-40. It's a go anywhere, do anything lens, it really is. So yeah, but then people say I'm a bit biased to Olympus these days. Yes, I am. Okay, I do like my Olympus equipment. I'm very glad that I changed from Nikon to Olympus. Nothing wrong with Nikon, Canon, Fuji, Sony, and anyone I've forgotten. They're all great cameras. But the weight of the Olympus system is nothing compared to what it was carting the Nikon about with the lenses on. It's much better. So that is why I changed from the Nikon to the Olympus. Grebe. I can't remember the location I took this photo. It was with the 40-150 lens, f8, ISO 2-100. It was taken on the 22nd of October. Nice light and reflections, and I think it was at Rickmansworth. Grey heron. Back with the grey heron, this time a one-legged heron. The lens was the 40-150 at f8 ISO 1600. Also taken on the 26th of October at Rickmansworth. Infrared. Now we're into the infrared with the Panasonic GF1 converted to 830 nm for infrared. I got into infrared this year. Colin, a very good mate of mine, had a Nikon converted, so I had to have a go at this. The Panasonic cost me £138 from eBay, and as it's a micro 4/3, all my Olympus lens fit. Road. The first photo is of a road on the moors in East Yorkshire at sunset. The lens is the Olympus 9-80mm, which seems to work well on the Panasonic. The ISO is 400. The f-stop was 4. Taken on the 6th of September. Tin Church. The Tin Church at Chiltern Open Air Museum. With adjustments in Lightroom and Photoshop. Taken on the 6th of August. A nice day out. If you're thinking of going, make it a day without rain. The lens was the 9-18mm. ISO was at 100. f4.9. This was just a very nice picture, I thought. And I did clean it up a little bit in Lightroom and Photoshop. Removed one or two objects that were wanted removing. But other than that, it just came out very nice as an infrared photo, I thought. Silhouette. I was out with the old boys club. This is just 3 old boys and a younger one. We meet up once a week to put the world to right, and sometimes take photos. This is taken at Farnham Common. I adjusted it in Lightroom. Taken on the 4th of November. Lens was the 9-18. ISO was at 400. The f-stop was 4, and it was taken at 1/200th of a second. And I just thought it made quite a nice silhouette. Tunnel. We're back at the canal, and this is at Boxmoor, just south of Hemel Hempstead. The bridge takes the London to Birmingham Railway. The lens was the 9-18mm, the ISO was at 400, the f-stop was 6.3, and it was exposure time of 1/250th of a second. This was taken on the 11th of July. Just a nice view, I thought. barge. This is the canal at Apsley. Again, it's the 9 to 18mm lens. I took this on the 3rd of August. If you look closely at the barge that are double moored, you see a coffin on the top. This was a funeral for a woman that was a bargee and she had passed away. Under the bridge at Boxmoor, the 9 to 18mm lens. This just looks nice. And the bridge framed the scene quite nicely. The buildings on the left and the wide beam barge on the right, and then looking straight down the canal. And I thought this made quite a nice picture. It is my favourite of the infrared pictures. Even though, if you notice, all my infrared is black and white. That's how my camera's set up, for black and white. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video and the waffle about the pictures that I've taken, where, and some of the camera settings. Thank you to all the persons that have subscribed to the channel, and if you haven't, please subscribe. My next video will be in the new year. Stay safe and see you next year. Keep making photos.